Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and is Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania cursed with a sickness that affects how he perceives time? We're learning more and more about this version of the Kang that we're meeting in Quantumania and how he is different from He Who Remains in Loki, specifically his unique condition, and how his relationship with time is gonna make this guy one of the most interesting villains we've ever seen in the MCU, and also one of the most tragic. A few weeks ago at CCXP, Marvel Studios released a version of the Quantumania trailer with a new line from Kang.
Scotland, your reality, everything you're holding on to, I know how it ends. You're out of your league, Ant-Man.
Afterward, the cast and crew of Quantumania did an interview in which director Peyton Reed had an interesting description of this variant of Kang versus He Who Remains in Loki.
Well, I think that He Who Remains in Loki is very different than Kang the Conqueror in our movie. They're variants, but they are extremely different people. Kang is someone who has dominion over time, but he's also he conserves his energy. And he's a very, very scary character to deal with, as these two found out.
Conserves his energy, an interesting way to describe Kang. For what reason would Kang need to prioritize energy conservation? Why is he short on it? And or what is he saving it up for? This is clearly an important theme for the character, as a similar comment was made about Kang by producer Stephen Broussard in Total Film last week. Jonathan talked a lot about this embodiment, says Broussard. He would use the phrase, "no moves wasted." That's how he saw this embodiment of someone so powerful. So not only energy conservation, but literally the absolute of no moves wasted. This Kang is so obsessed with his own timeline that he believes in no errant small talk, no idle activity, no streaming shows that you put on the background while you do the Wordle. Everything we hear him say and see him do in Quantumania is part of a carefully calculated game plan, something rehearsed, like in Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. Everything with a purpose and everything with a desired outcome, everything on script, so that Kang can stretch out his lifespan for as long as possible. Because for him, when he knows his death, every second is part of a ticking clock countdown. Actually, most recently, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, director Peyton Reed gave us the clearest tease yet of what exactly energy conservation and no moves wasted actually mean. He said, in the comics, Kang has dominion over time. He's a time traveler. His situation is a little bit different in this movie, which I won't spoil for you, but he's someone who, while we live very linear lives from childhood to death, Kang doesn't exist that way. It struck me as interesting to take the tiniest Avengers, in some people's minds maybe the least powerful Avengers, and put them up against the most powerful force in the multiverse. So there it is. This is such a big deal for Kang in this movie that the director doesn't want to spoil it for us, but his fear of wasting any energy comes from the fact that Kang does not perceive time linearly. He doesn't see it from birth to death, and he's just somewhere in the middle of those 2 points, but rather he is someone unstuck from time and floating above it, or rather just living all of it constantly all at once. Like Billy Pilgrim in Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. He sees time as a flat circle, not as a process of cause and effect, but really every instant of his life happening at once, because he has lived all of these lives so many times. So why no moves wasted? Well, he doesn't waste any moves or words because A, nothing he says or does really matters, he's really confined by destiny either way, but B, to try to fight that destiny would be to contradict his own timeline and create variances and branches for himself that would lead to more chaos for him, and chaos is really his enemy, and ultimately C, this particularly timeline detached Kang is uniquely immobilized. So when Kang tells Ant-Man, "I've seen how it ends," I think he's talking about his own death as much as Scott's death. And when he tells Scott, "You're out of your league," he's not dissing Scott for being a second-tier Avenger. I think he's really saying, you only see time linearly, cause and effect, you can't see where it's all going, but I can. We are in two completely different leagues of existence and of perception. And yeah, this is a tremendous power for Kang. Like Scott and the other Avengers can't just beat him hand to hand, they have to somehow outthink him and stir up enough chaos to create a branched timeline. And then after beating him in that branched timeline, they have to find a way to patch that timeline after beating him so that that victorious timeline doesn't get pruned or undone by a Kang from another timeline. Yeah, I know, I said timeline a lot in that sentence, which is why it's gonna take minds like that of Doctor Strange or Vision or Reed Richards to think all this through. Now, I'm on camera a lot, so I have to see my face a lot. So you'd think I would have to put a lot of effort in my skincare routine, but you know what? I really don't, because I use Geology. Geology is a 15-time award-winning personalized skincare company recognized in Hypebeast, Birdie, Men's Health, and Esquire, and Aspen Grooming Awards with over 6,000 5-star reviews, and they've recently expanded to offer products for pretty much whatever you need. All you gotta do is take this 30-second diagnostic quiz, and Geology is gonna figure out your routine for you. Like if you need some hair care, well, use Geology's Co-Wash. It's a specially formulated cream cleanser that removes buildup and cleanses the hair without the big lather or the harsh ingredients of typical shampoo. And for the rest of your shower routine, you can use their body washes. They're free of harsh ingredients, they smell great, and are refillable. And for after the shower, protect your skin from environmental stressors with vitamin C plus E ferulic serum to keep your skin looking young and healthy, and then a bit of dermatologist-tested aluminum-free deodorant that really smells great. Right now, for a limited time, Geologist is hooking our audience up with an absolutely crazy offer. If you use the code NEWROCKSTARS, they will give you an additional 70% off their award-winning skincare trial set. That discount applies whether you're stocking up for yourself or stuffing someone else's stocking instead. Either way, Geology has you covered. Check out their awesome gift sets featuring all of your favorite Geology products. To get started, just click the link in the description, take a 30-second diagnostic quiz, and their team of dermatologists will design a personalized routine just for you that ships directly to your door. In the case of Quantumania, I think this condition may also be a weakness or a curse for Kang. If he truly believes and applies no moves wasted, that makes it really hard for him to adjust and improvise. For one, it's really just a tortuous way to live. You have to constantly be thinking about every word, every gesture, every step, every pause. Like, imagine the boredom of that. Life would have no joy. Everything would just be about following the script and the flowchart at all costs. Actually, there could be a bit of irony in casting Bill Murray in this movie, because imagine Kang as Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, a guy who has lived a single day thousands of times, so much so that he gets a superiority complex over it.
I'm a god.
You're a god.
I'm a god. I'm not the god. I don't think.
But Kang, rather than living a single day 1,000 times, Kang has lived his entire life thousands of times. He has run every possible simulation. He's killed every Avenger. And like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, that power is also a curse, but a curse of time. So that leads us to the question, how does this curse connect with Kang's current status in the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? And what does he want Scott Lang to steal for him? I think the Kang we're looking at here in this movie is in a holding pattern, kind of frozen in time, stuck in the quantum realm, unable to actually apply any of his timeline plans or his thinking to the multiverse beyond. He just has to sit there in this kind of prison thinking it all through. Imagine him like Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, someone who's just sitting in his cage, thinking, conserving his energy, and waiting for the right moment to strike and escape. I think this Kang has been exiled in the quantum realm by other rival Kangs, or by He Who Remains himself, or maybe he was just passing through the quantum realm and then Janet sabotaged him to trap him there. Either way, his loop is frozen, which is a pretty horrifying thing to do to someone who sees time like a video game simulation that they played through thousands of times, to just hit pause and leave them there suspended like that. It's kind of like those folks in the Christmas special of Black Mirror. So I think Kang obviously wants to escape the quantum realm so that he can continue cycling through his lifetimes, maybe find one where he ends up with Renslayer or whatever his desired destiny is. And here in this movie, when Cassie sends a signal to the quantum realm, Kang finally finds a lifeline to escape. So what do you think? Will this Kang die in this movie? And then future Kangs we follow in like Kang Dynasty could be different variants with different outlooks? Or will this Kang return to his timeline loops with a vengeance and become the Kang that all other Kangs fear? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Erik Voss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.